got a phone call from our 32-year-old daughter that she had been diagnosed with cancer. We had not had any cancer that we were aware of in our family. It caught us completely by surprise. I'm very proud that this past week we celebrated her 6th anniversary from her surgery. So we still have one more year to go before she'll be in remission, but we're very thankful for that. So from that journey, you walk away from experiences in life that are very tragic. You say, okay, I wish we'd known this or that. Let somebody else do it. But my husband and I chose and knew that God was calling us to do it. And so we founded the Women of Hope organization. So the whole purpose of this program and stepping into your genes is to really start to learn at a very younger age the genetics and the important part that plays in the family history. We have been very excited that we've had a young woman by the name of Paxton Webster who has been a part of Women of Hope for the last 5 years. Well, she's brought a phenomenal program called Stepping Into Your Genes. And this is something that I had a vision for a long time, but just needed the right person that I knew of integrity and had the heart for people to be able to do that, and that is Paxton. And we just love her dearly. Thank you, Paxton, for all that you do. And if you'll come and tell them more about your program and introduce our speakers, I turn this over to you now. Thank you for being here this morning.
I just want to say thank you all so much for being here. It really does mean a lot. Thank you to Kenny and Elizabeth. So I get the pleasure of introducing our guest speakers today who have so graciously taken time out of their busy schedule and lives just to be here and help make a difference, even if it's just in one person's life, as Heather King had told me. So Ann Christian Williams is a recent graduate at the College of Charleston, and she currently lives in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, where she's employed as a marketing agent. She has been raising awareness for hereditary cancers for almost 3 years. She's a patient advocate speaker for Myriad Genetics and has spoken to numerous organizations. Please welcome Ann Christian Williamson.
Hi, my name is Ann Christian Williams, and I'm here to talk to you today about my story of being diagnosed with the BRCA1 mutation at the age of 21. I am currently 23 years old. I found out that I had the BRCA1 mutation in January of 2013. I just graduated from the College of Charleston with a business administration degree. I was a member of Delta Gamma fraternity. I love to paint and draw in my free time, so much so that in 2013 and 2014, I sold my artwork and raised over $6,850 towards Hope for Children, which is for an organization for helping underprivileged children in Africa, and afterward climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa in July 2014. I'm really determined to stand out and make a difference, and really believe that having this genetic mutation, even though it is a negative thing, I decided to make it a positive thing and to really spread awareness with it. So a little bit about the BRCA mutation. Some people who carry the BRCA1 mutation or the BRCA2 mutation may never develop cancer. And women with a BRCA1 mutation have up to an 87% chance of developing breast cancer at some point in her lifetime, and up to a 44% chance of developing ovarian cancer at some point in her lifetime. Men are also at increased risk of breast and prostate cancer, and an individual with the mutation has a 50% chance of passing it on to his or her children. So a little bit about my family history. My mom has 4 sisters, so I've got 4 aunts, and they all carry the BRCA1 mutation. And this is something that they inherited from their father or my grandfather. And my paternal great-grandmother most likely had the BRCA1 mutation, and she passed away at the age of 49 from breast cancer. And out of these 5 women, 3 of them had cancer in their early 30s. So because of this, my youngest aunt and my mother saw their sisters go through cancer, so they opted for genetic testing. This is right around when genetic testing started becoming a big thing. And my youngest aunt and my mother decided to get preventative surgeries to reduce their risk of breast and ovarian cancer. My mom and my unaffected aunt controlled their treatment through surveillance, preventative medication, and preventative surgery. Cancer dictated the treatment plan of my aunts with cancer. They had no control over it. They had to go through immediate surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. And it all started through my grandfather. I'll never forget when all my aunts started getting diagnosed with this mutation. They immediately thought that it was from my grandmother. And when my grandmother got tested and it came out negative, they tested my grandfather. And something that's really important to know is that the first thing that you think of when you think of breast cancer is women. But men can also develop breast cancer, and they can also have these genetic mutations and pass on to their children. So that's really important to be aware of. And my life as being a carrier of the BRCA1 mutation, it's hugely impacted my life. I'll never forget when I found out that I had it. I didn't think I was going to have it. I knew I had a 50-50 chance of having it, but I knew 2 of my cousins got tested and it was negative, and I just really didn't want to believe I'd have it. And I got a call from my doctor in January of 2013 saying that I had this genetic mutation. And I'm not going to lie, when I first found out, I'm sorry, it was really hard because it's like, okay, well, I'm a junior in college, and all my friends are so concerned about these frat parties that are going on this weekend, or like if this boy's going to text them back, and here I am having to worry about having cancer at a young age. I saw my aunts have cancer in their early 30s, one of them 31, and here I am 21, and I have to think about possibly getting my breasts removed, getting my ovaries removed. If I want to have kids, that might not happen. And, sorry, after letting that sink in, I realized I could either let this mutation rule my life and be negative and use it as an excuse, or I could take it and run with it and rule it. So instead, I not only have a positive outlook on life because of this and live every day to the fullest and do everything that I can to just really make the most out of my life, but I'm doing everything in my power to spread awareness about these genetic mutations, because if I can impact someone's life to opt for genetic testing and possibly prevent them from having cancer, then this mutation has served its purpose for me. Because I know despite being a cancer, I'm extremely fortunate to know that I can prevent cancer. So now I'm on a path of routine clinical breast exams, mammograms, and MRIs to screen for breast cancer, and to monitor for ovarian cancer, I'm doing so through blood tests and ultrasounds. And when someone is diagnosed with cancer, again, they lose control of their treatment plan. And so because of this, I want to follow my mom's footsteps and also get preventative surgeries when the time comes. And my mission is to create awareness for genetic testing, especially in young women. I've been very fortunate to know that my 4 aunts and my mom had this genetic mutation, so when the time came that I turned 21, I knew that I had to get genetic testing done. For some women or men, this is not as easy. You might have had someone pass away from breast or ovarian cancer or prostate cancer, or someone in your family with cancer, and you might not realize that there are these genetic mutations out there, so it might not be on your radar. So that's the purpose of today, is to create that awareness. I want you to know your family history, and that starts with your parents and your grandparents, and knowing their family cancer history. And some of the red flags of genetic mutations are multiple, young, and rare. Multiple, if it's multiple cancers on the same side of the family. Young, if it's under the age of 50. And rare cancers such as ovarian and pancreatic cancer. So looking beyond BRCA1 mutation, I like I said, live every day to the fullest. I try to do everything I can. Yeah, I have this mutation, and I have to be a lot more aware and about my preventative actions, but I think that's something that we should all be doing. We should constantly be doing our monthly breast exams. We should constantly be aware, constantly bringing up topics with our doctor, because you never know what could happen to you, and you never know when life might be taken from you. And that's been the biggest thing to me, is just really being aware and really being proactive, because it could save your life, it could save your mom's life, it could save your aunt or uncle's life, just being aware of these genetic mutations. And thank you so much for having me here today.